Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Today we're going to be doing some more budget mods on the Civic. But before we get into anything, if you guys have not seen the wheel reveal yet, go check it out because we finally got the fender flares painted. The car is clean for once and we have the wheels on. So if you have not seen that, go check it out because it looks good. Before we get into today's video, I want to cover just a couple things that you guys keep asking that you missed when you were watching the videos. So the biggest thing that you guys always say is, how are we going to take these bumpers off? You guys are always like, how are you going to take this bumper off? What are you going to do when you take the bumper off? I touched on it in the videos, but I guess you guys missed it or went over it. But basically your concern is that we never extended this line through the fender flares. When we installed them, we just kind of left it right there. And I told you, when it comes time to need to take that off, we left it like that so everything could harden and mold and stay in the right shape. And then when we need to take the bumper off, we're just going to run the saw right through there and extend the line like we could have already done, but just for safety's sake, I want it to all mold and be like fully there for a while so it's taken its shape and everything, because underneath is still just a plastic fender. So I want it to have its shape before I cut into it so it doesn't just kind of spring out of whack. And I did say that, but some of you guys were just freaking out because you thought I could never take these bumpers back off. So that's how I'm taking the bumpers back off. Another thing that people were concerned with, and I showed the process, but we did actually like undercoat this whole thing. So underneath in here, there's all undercoating sprayed up because we cut the fenders and all that kind of stuff, and we did undercoat and we did primer everything in behind the fenders as well. But I guess when you guys are watching it, sometimes maybe you like skip over certain parts. That's all been taken care of as well. And the red we chose because Emerson had it laying around the shop, so we didn't actually really care. I would have painted it yellow for all I care, because it's just temporary until we wrap or paint the car. But we just happen to have a red that's like pretty damn close to the same red as the car, so we just threw it on and it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it, but we didn't do it on purpose. That's just what we had in the shop. What are you doing? What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be replacing this bunk-ass, janky, boring stock Honda steering wheel. I don't know if this has an airbag. It doesn't have like an airbag logo, but it looks kind of like a steering wheel that would have an airbag. And that sounds stupid, but it's got like the big squishy center, so I don't know. I feel like it might have an airbag. I don't know. We'll find out when we take it off. And so the products that we're going to be using today to replace the steering wheel, we spent a little bit more money on. So I was telling you guys at one point that when it comes to certain things, I'm gonna want to spend a little bit more money than less money, because for like the safety of having the steering wheel break off, I don't want that to happen. So you could have got like a short hub, or not a short hub, but you could have got like just the hub adapter for like $2 on AliExpress. Literally, I almost bought it, but I didn't trust that at all. Like it might be the exact same thing, but I just didn't trust the price. So whether or not it's the same stuff, priced higher, it makes me feel more comfortable that we spent a little bit more money on it. And we also got a little bit of a nicer steering wheel. So the steering wheel came in a Nardi box, as if it's legit. It looks pretty real. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Brad has a Nardi steering wheel in his 240 and it actually looks like exactly the same, but I guarantee you it's not. This is the steering wheel that we got. It looks like exactly like a Nardi steering wheel. It's even got the little signature right here. It's got like the perforated leather like I have in the BRZ. Like, it's a pretty nice setup. And this guy here was 63 bucks. It was, I think, advertised as being way deeper dish, but it's really not that deep. And then we got the short hub, which was actually $58 for this guy. Now I know that's a little bit pricey, but like a name brand one is about 100. Maybe a little bit more. So for 58 bucks, you're still about half price on a name brand. And this thing is also very solid. Like, I mean, I don't daily play with name brand ones, but for my general concern, it feels good. Like, it's a nice, heavy.
As long as these splines don't.
As long as the splines all line up and everything's good, it's good. As long as the splines all line up and everything's good, it's good. As long as the splines all line up. It says it's for my year Honda, so. And then finally, we have a quick release right here. This, again, this thing is heavy duty. I expected this to be like almost, why is it not focused? I expected this to be like almost plastic and super sketchy, but this was pretty nice. This was 36 bucks. And again, you could have got this a tiny bit cheaper, but it comes down to just like concern for quality. So, I mean, it looks pretty good. It's blue because we're trying to go with the blue theme. 58 for the short hub, 36 for the quick release, and 63 for the steering wheel, which isn't really that bad. If you think about that whole setup, like a brand new real Nardi steering wheel that looks just like this is like 400 bucks. And again, if this disintegrates or rips off the things, like that happened to David Patterson, I think, right? His steering wheel just annihilated. I think it was his steering wheel that just kind of disintegrated, and I'll tell you guys, but like you guys know, I'll tell you. All right, so first things first, just in case, what the hell's this? I literally just pulled the hood latch and this piece just threw itself at me. So the hood, just in case this is an airbag, I don't want it going off in Emerson's face. 2, 3. Airbag. Oh! Oh, you just gotta go like this. We're gonna make a lot more work for ourselves than necessary. Oh, I got it, maybe. It's riveted on. Can I just really rip it out? So, for future reference, this little black clip that was right here, I legit just pulled and it popped right out. So, either way, this little thing that was just touching right there, so we didn't have to undo that, but it still works.
Oh,
Wow, that
shit.
was so easy.
Hold
that
on.
was way too easy.
That's 1 second. Let's just center the steering wheel pretty quick.
Yeah, make sure it's centered and then do it again. That looks good. It's centered-ish.
Wow.
Dude, that was so easy.
And other cars are just like,
I know.
just like trying to pull this shit.
Here's a short hub, and then I'll get you the stuff that came in the box. 3 sets of things that they were all organized before I started this video, but when I showed all the people, I accidentally dumped the bags out of the things they were in. Well, the classic working with Wish parts struck us again. This hub, so for those of you that don't know how this works, can you see it? There's like a spline in this hole, which goes over top of the spline here. So if you take the stock steering wheel and you put it on, once it's on, the whole thing will turn. Like you're turning this little rod in the middle and everything. Like the wheels are turning, everything's turning. Whereas when we put this short hub on, that on the Wish website specifically says that it fits 92 to 95 Civics, when you put it on here, it just spins. Because there's a gap here, like the gap between the splines, you can see light coming through. This should be like perfectly sealed, and then when you turn this whole thing turns. But this is just spinning on top of the actual threads because the hole is too big. So we bought this one specific to this car. That's why I spent so much money on this. I bought this one specific to a 93 to 95 Civic. This is a 93. It really shouldn't be that hard to get that right. And I just went and rechecked the posting on Wish, and it does say it fits 92 to 95 Civics. So I just requested a refund, I guess, because I can't use it. And now I don't know what we're doing. We're gonna check some of the groups around here and see if there's any for sale. Maybe see if there's anything for sale, I don't know, at any of the stores around us. So fast forward 2 days and we have a new short hub. We got an NRG short hub. We bought this used. So the first one was 58 bucks. Wish ended up refunding it actually like right when I put the camera down. It was really, really fast, which was surprising because usually Wish stuff takes forever, but they were just like, what's your issue? Send photos, we'll replace it, and they just sent me a refund. And that night we found this on a Facebook Honda owners group, and we went out yesterday, picked it up, and today we're back at it. We're gonna finish the install. So this is just an NRG short hub. The guy had it on a 93 Civic, so I was like, thank God it'll finally fit. And then last night I put it on just as a tester to make sure we didn't bust this video, but we're gonna just continue the video from where we left off. I already took everything back apart. We're already back at the shop. We're just gonna keep going. So we did have to spend a little bit more on this hub, but I'd rather spend a little bit more than go back and try and repurchase something and wait months to get this and complete this video. And then again, what if we have the same issue where it just doesn't fit? So this one you'll see when it goes right on, like there, it's on and it doesn't move at all. So that's the issue. The splines actually fit this time. Nothing moves. I think I'm gonna line it up nicely so the NRG is at the top, as topped as it can be. There we go. That looks pretty good to me. No, there's no button on this one. That's another thing that kind of sucks. You just pull the whole unit. It's easier, but it's like less safe. Yep, there's a whole dead center at the top. Is it all gonna line up perfectly?
Good.
Nice. We'll have some Momo, some NRG, little gang going on.
Ooh.
What? Are they different connectors?
Yep.
That's awesome. Oh, the ground will connect, but the horns, 2 are the same?
Yep.
What we're doing is making, this right now is 2 female connectors, and this has 1 male and 1 female. So we need, instead of changing it on this actual piece, we're just gonna change it on the cheaper one, and we're gonna make this one a male so that they all connect happily together. I mean, it's kind of wonky and it doesn't necessarily look perfectly flat in all areas, but I think it'll be okay.
I think you're gonna fold it into a taco first turn.
I do not think I'm gonna fold it into a taco. I think it's gonna be fine. If you guys do this, when you tighten it, remember always tighten it like a wheel. Do like the cross pattern when you do this kind of stuff. Okay, hey. Here's a question. Why is there only 1 thing on the back of this horn and 2 things here? Think it goes in there?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, now I just opened up a can of worms. I hope it sits flat, because it like the part that's bent is the actual, here, like if you look at this, it doesn't sit, you know, very nicely.
It's okay.
So we're just gonna have to snug it up, torque it down, and make it kind of.
There you go.
So what's the red one for?
I don't know.
So we don't need this red one?
Sense.
Usually we do stuff we don't know what we're doing, and it works the way we thought. This stuff we know what we're doing, and it's not working the way we thought. There we go. So We just messed with this for the last half an hour. Great, now it's stuck in this stupid angle. We messed with this Hornet for the last like 20 minutes, half an hour. We have no idea what the hell's wrong with it. I think it's because this isn't real, this isn't real, this isn't real, this isn't real, this car's not real. Nothing here is real. So the one other issue, I thought I covered them all earlier about like buying things from Wish, but the one I forgot to cover was nothing ever works together. So even though this is like a quick release that's meant to hold the steering wheel, because the steering wheel is not real and the quick release isn't real, they both don't compute. So the horn sticks out like this far. You see that on camera? So like it sticks out how like a little bit. It's not the prettiest thing, but I want a horn. So basically it was either this or run no horn. Some things work flawlessly from these knockoff companies and some things just aren't. Like this steering wheel process just isn't working flawlessly. Steering wheel's not even triangular. These are straight and this piece is like left hooked over to here. Okay folks, I did it first so that you don't have to do it. Just do not buy any of these parts on Wish. It's just a fat bad decision. This steering wheel was like a quarter of the price of the real one, and I think there's a good reason for that. Look at how weird this is. You guys can see this. Okay, let me just level you out. This is like straight and this is like this. Just take a good look at it. What is that? It's on and like it looks cool. It makes the car look, you know, more racy, and I think this was the more expensive wheel and the money went into the leather. Because this is actually, why are you so close? This is actually like feeling kind of nice, like perforated leather. See, the issue I'm having is I watched David Patterson's video where he, you know, ripped his steering wheel right off the actual spokes or whatever you want to call this. And so I'm like gonna give it the little flex test, right? Because I want to make sure that nothing's gonna pop off while we're driving. So I pull it a little bit.
It just cracked.
Did you hear it crack? Guys, come on. Get real with me here. This is like a squishy beanbag chair. It shouldn't move at all. This should be so solid. Just
Give it the flick in the wrist right there.
The fact that you don't have power steering.
Yeah, I'm most certainly not driving this to Whistler this weekend. Here's what I'm gonna do. For the sake of being an entertainer on the internet, I'm gonna leave this on here. In 20 minutes, maybe in 20 days, maybe in 20 years, this steering wheel is gonna snap right off. And it's gonna make a great meme. The time has not come for that yet. This whole video went like all at once. Like the whole video just cliff dived. We've learned today these are not parts that you want to buy from a knockoff place. You don't want to do it. So this kind of turned into a bummer. At the end of the day, it still looks tight. Like it still looks really, really good. I throw the plastics and everything back on, and like it looks pretty. Like I really like the way it looks, which sucks because I know it can't stay there. The only thing is like I've said 100 times, these products are safety issues, right? It's the same with like the coilovers and stuff. Like these are safety issues, and if this is gonna be how they bend, and like I could literally, if I tried right now, snap this right off. And if that's gonna be how the product is, then you need to pay more for it. Whether it's a budget build or whatever, it's a safety issue. It's gonna be okay. It's not gonna just fall off from turning. It's more of like when you pull on it or you're parking or you're something, you're gonna break it. So we're gonna leave this steering wheel in the back, and I'm gonna leave the drill with the attachment just in the back and all the tools and everything. Anything was to happen when we were driving, I'll just swap the wheels. I'm really not too worried about it. Like I said, like as far as regular driving, like driving home and turning and stuff, it's gonna be okay. It's more of like backing up or like turning and pulling on your wheel. You know, people do that because they're like 50 years old and they do that. Or when you're parallel parking and you're really reaming on the wheel, that's when it's gonna break. But we did try, and a lot of you guys are probably curious because these things look so tempting to buy online when they're so cheap, but that's the result. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. Now you guys have seen what not to get on Wish, so I'll make sure to put the links down below of these products and just any products like it. If you see a $30 steering wheel, probably stay away from it. And if you see any of these things that need to be so perfectly fine-tuned, like the splines and all that stuff, they're generally never right. So Wish, you really fell through on this one. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Wish me luck getting home. Just kidding, I'll be safe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out and stay committed.